Hey guys, I just found this thing. I'm looking up logos and their occult meanings in a video that I'm going to show you a clip from in just a second. He's going to describe that they use a circle, a square. There's water for an element there. You can see that there's wood inside the alabaster prayer house, and you can see the compass on the floor. So this is an alchemical ritual. It's a magical ritual. I'm going to let this guy explain it. He just explains the first three parts, which would have been parts 4, 5, and 6 of Star Wars, how their alchemical stuff worked. And as he's explained that part now, I'm going to turn this on for a second. So we are at the 5-minute and 16-second mark of hidden meanings behind every popular logo.
Movie, he's fighting his father, and in the third movie, he vindicates and validates his father by becoming the son that he has to become. And so the symbolism here is fascinating and amazing. And then you take it one step further and you add elements to these three shapes and three colors. And so the red triangle becomes the element of fire. The green, the blue circle.
I hit the wrong pause button. So when he says that the red triangle represents the element of fire, there's the pyramid that turns red on top of the Bethel's alabaster prayer house. And I've already explained to you how fire is over the top of the pyramid inside the tree of life that these guys are using. So the red is the triangle, is fire in the elemental stuff, and that's exactly the same. I had it in the other video about the alabaster prayer house. You guys can go back and check out. I think I have 4 other videos or 3 other videos on this subject. But this is specific to the elemental magic that they are using for building that globe earth. The globe earth comes from the Kabbalah. If you believe in a spherical earth, all the people who have been teaching spherical earth stuff throughout the generations have been Kabbalists. And the circular earth, the globe earth, comes from the doctrine of the fallen angels. That's what Kabbalah is. That's why when everybody's throwing a fit that Tucker Carlson got canned from Fox News, he's wearing a Kabbalah bracelet and he points at his head, which means that he's more all-knowing than the general public, which means that he's met Lucifer in person, and he's wearing a Kabbalah bracelet. The Kabbalah is the foundation upon which all Freemason teachings are based, and the habits of the people practicing the Kabbalah can be found in Deuteronomy 18 when it's the list of abominations. All of those things are things that Bethel is teaching, and it all connects to this cult of Masonry. So I'm going to back this up because I hit the wrong pause button a couple of times. I'm going to let you hear this again.
Vindicates and validates his father by becoming the son that he has to become. And so the symbolism here is fascinating and amazing. And then you take it one step further and you add elements to these three shapes and three colors. And so the red triangle becomes the element of fire. The green square becomes the element of earth. The blue circle becomes the element of water. And these are alchemical symbols, because if you put together the prima materia, the earth, and the sacred water, and you boil it and burn it down with the fire, what you're left with is this white powder, this philosopher's stone, or the mana, which is a white light stone, which is incredibly fascinating. But then we can take it one step even further, and we add dimensionality to these three shapes. And so the red fire triangle becomes the pyramid. Well, we know in ancient Greek, pyramidium means the fire in the middle, okay? And so then the square, which is the green earth square, becomes the cube. And the cube is representational of the earth. It has 6 sides. It's dimensional. It can be measured as through cubits or through the ruler.
globe, square, 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 compass, right? Just letting you guys see it's in the middle of all the stuff that this guy is talking about.
Ruler, or if you're a despot or a monarch or something, you would also rule the land of the earth. And the six sides represent the six continents of the planet. So you have North America, you have South America, you have Eurasia, you have Africa, you have Australia, and you have Antarctica. So these are the six surfaces of the cube, which represents the earth.
Okay, let's go back to this for 1 second, because he's going to talk about the ruler, and then he's going to show the monarch and the ruler.
Despot or a monarch or something, you would also rule the land of the earth. And the six sides represent the six.
So when he's talking about the rulership, he's talking about right here where it says Bethel's alabaster prayer house on ley lines. That's the rulers. All the Templars have their buildings on the ley lines. So these rulers, the alabaster prayer house is on ley lines because the rulers have their own Templar, Venus, Lucifer worship temples designed the exact same way as Bethel's alabaster prayer house.
The six continents of the planet. So you have North America, you have South America, you have Eurasia, you have Africa, you have Australia, and you have Antarctica. So these are the six surfaces of the cube, which represents the earth. And then for the blue water symbol of the circle, you have the sphere, which becomes a globe. And how do you navigate the globe? With a compass. And so you're back to this ruler and this compass aspect. And so in Zoroastrian, Zoroaster himself said that the greatest symbol of the human is to stack these three magical shapes together to create the symbol of the human. And so you have the circle, the triangle, and the square representing the symbology of the human. And this was like 1500 BC. And so if you take that symbology that he's talking about.
Get it? The pyramid on top of the building, the globe earth under it, and the square underneath it, according to this form of Freemasonry, all the way back to Zoroastrianism, which comes out of Kabbalic practices that has to do with with Babylon. Their practice, Bethel, stacking those pyramid, globe, and square, is practicing Zoroastrianism. I'm sorry, I'm sure I said that wrong.
Way back then, and you apply all of these multipliers that we just talked about, the head becomes the water element. The upper torso becomes the pyramid or the fire element, and the lower torso becomes the cube or the earth element. And so when you look at the head, what do you look at? You see water, right? And so we ingest water through our mouths. We have our salivary glands. We have our mucus. We have our tear ducts. A lot of our sweat starts in our forebrow or our head. And we have the sacred water of the pineal gland, right? So then you move into the upper torso, and this becomes the pyramid or the upside down pyramid, and the fire is in the middle. Well, what is our fire in our middle? It's our heart. It's pumping our red fire blood, right? But then we also have all of our processing organs within the upper torso as well, and they are burning the fuel that we feed our bodies to make our bodies work. And then in the woman, you have the sacred womb space, which is a generator for the next generation of life. And so then you move into the lower torso, and this is representation of earth. And in our lower torsos, we are grounded to the earth. Through our excrement, we refertilize the earth. And for men, our sacred seed comes from this lower element of earth. It's the earth seed, and it fertilizes the egg in the womb, which creates the spark or the fire of life in the generation or generator of the womb, creating the next life. And so all of these symbols.
So when Sean Foyt did his Let Us Worship at Sundial Bridge, he was in the womb of the whore of Babylon, because Sundial Bridge is a penis and a vagina. The glass bridge itself is ejaculation. There's a brass sphere that was given to us by Santiago Calatrava, the designer of the bridge. The brass sphere is the seed, and there's a water element because the bridge goes over the top of the water. So it's as above, so below reflection, just the same as the Washington Monument out in Washington, D.C. has the reflection pool, so that it's a penis with a reflection. That's what Sundial Bridge is. And Sean Foyt started his Let Us Worship, the super spreader event, inside the womb of the whore of Babylon, which is what we're warned against, but that's what all these Freemasons are teaching. So what these guys did was, in that design of the Sundial Bridge, it's another stack of the triangle, the square, and the water element. Again, outside of Bethel, but designed by Templar Santiago Calatrava, who charged Redding $26 million to have a penis built in the middle of our town that put our town on the map. We get millions of people that just drive here every year to look at our giant penis and vagina. Right? Our town has been made into Baphomet worship by the Templars that Bill Johnson brought into town after he murdered Scott and Darren Grubbs, and then started using Sozo to brainwash my friends and family. Sozo is recession hypnotism. It's EMDR recession hypnotism. My friend Mike, who goes to Valley Christian Fellowship that I worked at, that I attended for years, Mike has had 3 different tours as a Black Ops or Navy SEAL, and he's had EMDR done on him multiple times. And when it was suggested that one of my friends locally gets EMDR done to her because of her trauma, he told me no way. He said it will fry her brain. And that's what Sozo is based on, EMDR recession therapy. They're hypnotizing people. They can get people to go out and start fires in our town, and they wouldn't even be conscious that that's what they're doing.
Together create this magical aspect of symbolism, and it can then be applied to corporate logos or esoteric knowledge as well, moving it into different directions. And so coming full circle back around to corporate logos, this is a fascinating question, a fascinating topic. Some of the older corporate logos, I believe, utilize these symbols with hidden meaning, with esoteric meaning for those who are looking to see them. In my own field, I've created logos that definitely utilize these aspects. But if we're looking at corporate logos that represent, like, for instance, the circle, we can look at the ESA or European Space Agency logo, which is a dark blue circle representing the water of Earth. The E represents Europe or the Earth. And then there's a dot in the circle. And if you look at the dot, this could be a satellite, it could be the moon, it could be the star of Sirius. There are different representations of what it could mean. Or you look at a logo like the AT&T logo, and you also have a blue sphere. And through the blue sphere are stripes, white stripes, and these represent telecommunication or fiber optics. But if you're looking at it as a water or sphere element, then these stripes actually represent the clouds that cover the water. And so there's an interesting esoteric background to that symbol as well. If we're looking at triangle logos, look no further than Delta Airlines, right? Delta is the 4th letter of the Greek alphabet. Its symbol itself is a triangle, and the Delta logo is 3 pyramids rising from the ground. So it's showing flight. So you have a smaller pyramid, you have the negative space in between, which is the secondary pyramid, and then you, on top of that, you have the third pyramid, and they're both dimensional shapes. And then
all right, hold on for 1 second. This is something that I've got in Reading. So he just said the three pyramids represent ascension, going upward, right? And we know from past videos that the chevron is a number 33 hidden in plain sight so that other Masons can come and shop at your businesses. But 3 chevrons equal a 666. So watch this real quick. This is one of our little millennials that came into town. And his logo is a chevron. The negative space is another chevron, and his company's name is Upward Realty. This stuff is very common in our town. It's probably about 20 to 25% of the logos. You see this stuff on a regular basis. See the infinity sign at one of our local coffee shops? That's painted on the side of one of the walls in downtown Reading. Hold on 1 second. We're going to go find their logo real quick. You can barely see it over the top, but it is a compass. Let me go see if I can find a better copy of it. There's their compass. And they've got 2 of the French Lafleurs on the side, which connects them to some order of masonry. Those are satanic logos. Practicing the holidays instead of the holy days. 8-pointed stars of Lucifer all over the place on their designs. If you look down at the bottom of this page, the people that they're getting in that they're working with, the SCDD, you can see the star going over the glow, over the to make the firmament. That's a falling star. It's gone up and it's come down, and it's got a chevron with a circle in it for their logo. It's upside down, but it's a chevron. I'm sure if you go and look up Wonder Woman and Good Fight Ministries, they've probably got a video exposing these guys. If not, probably Little Light Ministries has a video explaining that Wonder Woman is no bueno. So we can go old school in Reading, and we have the Americana Lodge that has a eagle up on top. It no longer looks like that. Now it has been taken off of the top of the building. It's down on the ground, and it has red, white, and blue wings. So, once again, Masonic Phoenix. Then we have the 8-pointed star for the hotel that's called Stardust. We know that the fallen angels are the ones who are the stars. Therefore, the Stardust Motel is another symbolism. Red, white, and blue, the royal colors of the House of Egypt and the House of Babylon. That is a square within a square. See the design logos of our sign to come into Reading? That's a square within a square. That's very obvious that it has to do with Freemasonry. Everyone understands that a Thunderbird, once again, Freemason logos, all of it. Even this one's a picture from the 70s. They still had the pool open. Inside the occult, when you see open umbrellas over the top of people's heads, it represents possession. Do you notice how there are chevron being painted with that gay pride flag on the ground in between the buildings of downtown Reading? The umbrellas open represent possession by fallen angels. It is not surprising at all that right next to those 3 or 4 hotels that I just showed you, that the old City Hall Art Center has a statue of the god Shiva, the Destroyer. Shiva the Destroyer, Lucifer, in their front yard. It was only supposed to be a 6-month installation or something like that, and it's been there for like 15 years. They even just took it down, repositioned it, and put it back up. Please take Satan out of our town. Thank you.